Welcome to Return to Athens. This week we're on track with the British team and on the mat with China's gymnasts. Plus, we've got a ticket to ride on the city's new tram. All that and more as we return to Athens. First up, the battle for a place on the British athletics team, and providing they have run a qualifying time this season, the first two in each event awarded a trip to Athens. In the men's 110 hurdles, Rob Newton making the team, his time of 13.72, short of the 13.55 needed, however, an earlier personal best of 13.36 assuring his place. Left out of the squad, Sarah Claxton took victory in the 100 metres hurdles in 13.22, followed by Diane Allegrin and Rachel King. Arbi Oyapitten outran rival Joyce Maduaka and stopped her from claiming a hat-trick of British titles by winning the women's 100 metres in 11.54 seconds. However, Oyapitten and Maduaka were both not selected to run the 100, instead selected to compete in the 200 metres. In the men's 100 metres final, Jason Gardner pulled out a surprise winner, running past Darren Campbell, Mark Lewis-Francis and Christian Malcolm to finish in 10.22. Both Gardner and Campbell into the team for the 100. While it was good news for the minor place getters as well, all four selected to join the prestigious 4x100 metres relay squad. There are few enough British Olympic medal prospects, so it was with relish that the crowd welcomed victory by veteran 8 and 1500 metre runner Kelly Holmes. She strode clear of Jo Fenn to win her 7th 800 title inside Olympic qualifying, but Holmes' priority will be the 1500, the event she won bronze in 4 years ago. Controversial American newcomer Malachi Davis saw his Olympic dream suffer a shattering blow when he could only finish 5th in the 400. He weakened in the home straight as Tim Benjamin edged out Daniel Keynes in a thrilling finish. There was welcome news in the triple jump. Nathan Douglas exceeded his personal best by almost half a metre to record a leap of 16.95, equalling the distance required to qualify. Jade Johnson put in a strong performance to qualify in the women's long jump. She eclipsed the 6.72 metres mark on her first jump. Another local favourite was Chris Rawlinson, who smiled his way to victory in the 400 hurdles. He was in such control he grinned to the crowd as he raced through in 50.04 to claim his spot on the team. In the 200, the event won by Chris Lambert ahead of Christian Malcolm. But there was an air of disappointment around the sprint with the retirement of Darren Campbell due to injury. However, the Sydney silver medalist has already done enough to convince the selectors. To new technology, and 5 top US athletes all tried out a new running suit at the Olympic trials. Tori Edwards, Maurice Green, John Capel, Darvis Patton and Alison Felix are all expected to wear 4Motion suits at the Games, developed by sports company Adidas after 4 years of research.
I've tried it out and I think it's great. It helps me to run in a more upward motion, helps me to lift my knees throughout my running phase.
The outfit is specifically designed to support the runner's muscular system and help maintain the correct posture by compressing specific muscle areas. The athletic suit differs from the sharkskin variety used by swimmers in that it does not aid the athlete aerodynamically, simply improving their natural stature. The areas targeted by the suit include the lower thigh. The suit works by linking that pressure up the thigh to the abdominal muscles.
I guess it's supposed to help you keep your muscles warm and helps you run faster, basically. That's basically what it does. Helps you keep your muscles intact.
John Capel is the 200-metre world champion, and he believes the compression aspect works.
Keeps you upright. So if something keeps you upright, you can imagine how it keeps the top part of your body. It holds it together. So with the suit, it pushes your body together to hold you in an upright position to where your body can actually use the momentum coming from your legs.
These Algerians are putting the final touches to their preparations for amateur boxing's ultimate competition. The 7 young men carry with them the majority of medal hopes for a country that relies on just 2 sports, boxing and athletics, for a place on the podium. That pressure is part of what 81-kilogram contender Kenzie Abdani and his team will thrive on over the coming weeks. Recently training in Cuba, they have been preparing for these games from almost as soon as Sydney put out the flame.
We prepared in Cuba for over 2 months. It was very useful for us because of the high standards of the Cuban boxers. We really appreciate their Olympic expertise. We really hope to achieve fantastic results in Athens because Algerian boxing is considered to be the best in Africa.
The Algerians' mentor is their experienced head coach, Rabah Hamadak, who has delivered great results at recent Olympics. But Hamadak believes that despite the exceptional record of Algerians in Olympic boxing, the country's authorities must heed his warning that the sport needs more backing and financial support.
I'm speaking as the head coach of the national team. The authorities have to understand that boxing is facing problems. That's due to lack of funding, despite our record at the Olympics. 1 current Olympic champion, and in 3 other games, we won medals. We should not let this sport down as Algerians.
Previous success at Olympic level hasn't been followed up by taking the sport a step further into the professional ring, with only a few medal winners attempting professional careers. Ben Omar is another of the Magnificent 7 heading for the Olympic city. He's now extremely confident of taking a medal following extensive preparations, including time in the ring with the legendary Cuban boxers.
We have an international reputation, especially alongside the Cubans. And we have prepared well with the Cubans. We have also been to international competitions and come back with wins, like the one in Romania, which was a really tough competition.
Now it's time to make the hard work pay by taking a fistful of medals, but the real success is to convince the country's boxing authorities that future support is worthwhile. More on preparations, and Italy's swim team has finished its final altitude training sessions before heading off to the athletes' village. Training at 2,400 metres above sea level are 3 of the country's greatest medal hopes: Sydney gold medalist Massimiliano Rossellino, Paolo Bossini and Federica Pellegrini. Bossini believes there are 2 obstacles in his way to taking gold. The first American, Brendan Hansen, who has just broken the world record for the 200 breaststroke, and the former record holder, Kiyosuke Katajima from Japan.
The guy I fear the most? Well, there's lots of them. It's not just one. The main one is Kitashima because I think he'll be very angry for what they just did to him. American swimmer Brendan Hansen recently beat his world record, but also Hedgeman will be dangerous.
One of the youngest athletes on the Italian team is 16-year-old Federica Pellegrini, considered the most promising female Italian swimmer going to Athens. Pellegrini currently holds the Italian records for the 100 and 200 freestyle. Life for Italy's swimming team certainly improved after Sydney 2000. the gold medal of Massimiliano Rossellino boosted enthusiasm for the sport, and the Italians are focused on obtaining further success in Athens. However, it's not just a strict diet, endless hours of training, both in the pool and in the gym, along with no social life, that is the key to success for Pellegrini.
I prefer to stay quiet because I'm superstitious, but I'll do my best.
Nevertheless, holding a rabbit's foot, wearing your favourite tracksuit to the event, making sure you pack your bag in the same way, or any other superstition you may believe in will never substitute for hard work and dedication. Gold medalist Rossellino knows that however hard the Italian team trains, their rivals are working equally as hard.
We are trying to get better to improve our times, but the rest of the world is doing the same thing. This means that, a lot of Americans and Australians and everyone is going to do their best, and I'm sure that apart from Mr. Phelps and Mr. Thorpe, we'll have a lot of young swimmers coming up and doing very well.
In swimming, starting your career at a young age seems to be the key. At just 15, Australian girl Liesl Jones made her Olympic debut in Sydney. And who could forget other young superstars like Ian Thorpe and Michael Phelps? For Italy's young athletes, the honour of representing their country is enough, let alone winning a medal.
The freestyle specialists will be very aggressive, but we'll be there. I've got nothing to lose. I'm one of the youngest athletes. I think they'll have more problems than me.
The Italians are sending a strong contingent of swimmers to the Games. In all, there are 19 men and 10 women. And while these guys clown around beside the pool now, on August 14, things start for real. We caught up with China's national gymnastics team, 9 men and 9 women, while still going through their paces in training prior to leaving for Europe. They're hoping to fly the flag for China by snagging at least 2 or 3 gold medals. Under a banner reading, "Train hard for the glory of the nation," they were in training 8 hours a day before they left for Paris on July 28 for the team's final preparations. Headed by world champion Li Xiaopeng, China won 5 gold medals at the World Championships by beating the US and Japan to top the medal tally. This year, one of the team's most likely female medalists is the current balance beam world champion, Fan Yi.
I think I'm in better condition now than last year. I have more experience for the Olympics since I took part in a world-class event. I can perform better than I did last year.
China's male gymnastics lineup keeps last year's world champion side intact, focusing on 5 events: team, individual all-around, parallel bars, vault and pommel horse. While their female counterparts centre on uneven bars and the balance beam. Yang Wei, the silver medalist in the individual all-around event in Sydney, is hoping to go one better in Athens and win a gold.
I try to maintain a tranquil frame of mind. I don't think a lot at the moment. I'm feeling the pressure a little bit, but I'm really just trying to stay calm.
If previous form is anything to go by, he'll have no trouble. The Chinese grabbed 3 golds, including the country's first men's team title at the previous Games. China is also keeping an eye on its younger gymnastic talents, with a view to putting on a strong show on home turf in 4 years' time. Coach Huang Libing is hoping that some of the team's less experienced members will become the backbone of a more formidable squad.
Many of them are young athletes. They are key members for the next Olympics. Although some of them are just substitutes this time, they will become core athletes who will attend the Games in 2008.
Never mind 2008, look out for China on the mat in a couple of weeks. The Iraqi athletes competing may not be medal contenders, but the entire team already feel like winners. Just happy enough to be representing their strife-torn nation in international competition for the first time in 14 years.
The important thing is Iraq's participation. It is a demonstration for Iraq and the Iraqi flag to be present at the Games. And it is an achievement we are very proud of. All Iraqis are proud of.
While it is with a sense of pride, he's also realistic about the Iraqis' chances.
We always hope that when the athletes participate, that they would get top results. But we should not forget the fact that Iraq is passing through extraordinarily poor circumstances preparing its athletes.
Iraq swimmers trained in Canada and Kuwait, weightlifters in Bulgaria, runners in Germany and boxers in the US.
The apparatus which was running sports in Iraq was interested in things other than the athletes because of the current circumstances. Regrettably enough, during the training period, because of a lack of equipment and stadiums, we were forced to accept with gratitude these countries' kind offers to host our athletes and sports teams for training.
Iraq hasn't been at a game since invading Kuwait in 1990, but was officially welcomed back into the fold in February. Since then, the chief of the country's committee has been working round the clock to get his team together. IOC Coordination Commissioner Dennis Oswald recently carried out his final inspection, viewing progress on venues, infrastructure and transport works. Oswald visited crucial projects that had been of some concern for the International Olympic Committee, such as the suburban rail and tramway systems.
I think the work which still has to be done can be done within the remaining time. So they still have to work hard at the pace they have, and they will be finished on time.
Athens was dogged by construction delays after missing 3 years of valuable time to get things moving since winning the bid to host the Games in 1997. Some of the final concerns were the movement of the roof over the main stadium, completed last month, and the rail and tramways, crucial to alleviate traffic congestion in Athens. That leaves one small hurdle, the matter of convincing Greeks to use public transport.
Everything is practically ready. Now what needs to be done is to improve the look, to improve the surroundings of the facilities, to clean the city, and to make sure that everything looks great when the games start.
With only days to go before the opening ceremony, construction workers have been employed on double and triple shifts to complete the 29 venues, along with the roadworks, a tram, train and metro line and landscaping. The city's organising committee came under harsh criticism in the preceding 3 years by the IOC over the delays and almost risked losing the Games. Since that time, everyone has worked at a frenzied pace to be ready. The current government, voted into power in March, scaled back some works and cancelled one project in order to save time. All in all, things certainly have gone down to the wire. Many sceptics said it wouldn't be possible to move and finish the massive roof over the stadium, yet it now dominates the city skyline. And in years to come, most will not remember the construction delays, just the magnificent spirit of competition that always should be the measure of a successful Games. Finally, neighbouring country Albania has been implementing special security measures to prevent threats to Greece, including deploying extra police along their border. Greece has called on its northern neighbour, which has a reputation for slack law and order along with organised crime, to beef up security ahead of the Games. Public Order Minister Igli Toska said Albania was coordinating with Greece on security, focusing on the mountainous and notoriously porous border that has been a key route for illegal migration to Albania's much wealthier neighbour over the past decade.
We are installing the new screening machine. All the passengers are going through 100% screen and under of the control with metal detectors. And we are providing also 10% of the control of the passengers and hand luggage.
Albania has spent €2 million on extra measures, including doubling the number of officers deployed in the south to more than 6,000, using movable observation points as well as sniffer dogs. The United States and the EU have helped to computerise border controls and to train officers.
Okay, this initiative is from the European Commission to advise and support police and customs on the Albanian side, especially here in Kakavia, in fight against organized crime and cross-border crime, especially during the period of the Olympic Games in Athens.
At stake for impoverished Albania is its credibility as an aspiring member of the European Union and NATO. To reward Albania's efforts, Greece allowed Albanian immigrants holding expired residence permits to return home for holidays and come back. And that's it for this edition of Return to Athens. Please join us next week for a special final episode, where we'll be showcasing the news and views over the last 32 weeks that made Return to Athens your favourite Olympic lead-up program.